Red flag number 18 is being in control of the birth. As a man today, once your sperm leaves your balls, women make 100% of the decisions. Talked about this earlier. Makes 100% of the decisions unilaterally. As a consequence of that, she can make your life a living hell. If you knock up the wrong woman, you could be on the hook for around 20 years. Some guys, even up to 25 years as her personal ATM. Never, ever trust a woman that you have not properly vetted in a long-term relationship when she says, it's okay, just go inside me, I'm on birth control. I can't get pregnant. You have to have 100% certainty that there is effective birth control in play. For the record, birth control pills are not sufficient. Many men have knocked up women who've claimed to be on the birth control pill only to discover that she accidentally forgot to take them or wasn't even on them. Condoms that you flush away afterwards, a vasectomy or an IUD are your most reliable methods of birth control today. Remember, women lie. It's called birth control for a reason. Control it. Let me expand on this a little bit. Oh, I forgot to have that up on the screen. Sorry. Let me expand on this for a moment. I don't think hormonal birth control is a good idea anymore. There's copper IUDs. There's hormonal IUDs. Anything that's hormonally going to affect her cycle, that's going to put her into a state of perpetual, like it tricks her body into thinking that she's pregnant. So eggs don't drop. And if eggs don't drop, then she can't get pregnant. So if her body thinks it's pregnant, she really can't get pregnant. They're 99% effective most of the time, although there are, scenarios where women taking pills religiously or may have an IUD in, correctly fitted, may still get pregnant. It's very rare, but it can occur. One of the problems is when women are on hormonal birth control, it changes them, okay? There's been lots of studies done on this. Actually, a really good example is a lot of women before they get married, they'll meet a guy, they'll date, she's 30, she's on the pill or something like that, or maybe has an IUD or something like that. She's been vetted, so he trusts her. He's like, she's taking her pill. I know she doesn't want to get pregnant until we have the wedding. So leading up to that, maybe for several months to years even, she's on hormonal birth control. They're having sex. Everything's fine. She doesn't get pregnant. They get married. Now she wants to get pregnant. Stops taking the pill, has the IUD taken out, hormonal one. Copper one doesn't matter, hormonal one. And then they're like, okay, let's get pregnant. The problem is, at that point, she, for that entire period of time that they were dating, during her vetting phase for him, decided to marry him based on how she was feeling towards him, while her body was in a state of perpetual pregnancy. Her mind and her body was tricked into a state of perpetual pregnancy. When women are in that state, they want softer, more reserved, more resourceful men that can, pay for things. That's more what they're concerned with. They're not so much looking for the alpha cues, right? Like the alpha seed. So they come off the birth control, and then their hormones rebalance. They start dropping eggs, and they look at the guy and they're like, "Why am I not attracted to him? This is so weird because I got married, we did the vows, we had the ceremony, we did the honeymoon, and I look at him now." And by the way, like marriage is kind of a turnoff for most women anyway. Like once, like the whole familiarity breeds contempt. They're with you every day. You live together. There's no competition anxiety. She's always got eyes on you all the time. It's very, very familiar for her at that point. And then she looks at the guy and she's like, this is not the guy that I thought that I loved, that I was attracted to. Because their body was tricked for years into thinking it was pregnant. So they were attracted to a guy in that state based on that capacity. So a lot of women actually get married, come off birth control, and then look at a guy and be like, that's not what I want. I want a guy that's strong and virtuous and he knows how to change a tire, and this guy's a dork, right? It happens routinely. So if you're dealing with a chick on a long-term basis, my advice is for birth control, do not use anything hormonal. Copper IUD, perhaps. You can talk to the experts on that one. Condoms, sure, which, get boring after a while. You're not going to like those. There was an NBA press release put out years ago. I've talked about this before in another podcast, but there were players that were, playing their games. And again, they're athletes, they're world class. Women love these guys. And they would hook up with girls, use condoms, and then they would throw them in the garbage. But the women would go in the bathroom, take the condom out of the garbage and impregnate themselves. And then these guys would be on the hook for 20 years. So the sporting league put out an announcement to all players that basically said, if you're going to hook up, flush them down a toilet, because we've had players run into significant problems that have distracted them from performing on the court. So be smart about it. So there's that thing that you got to understand with condoms. It's not likely to happen to every guy, but if you're, again, you're a valuable guy, you're rich, you're influential, you're successful, you're with a girl, you're using a condom and you tie it up and you throw it in the garbage, don't. Flush it, get rid of it, do whatever you got to do with it, but don't leave it in a state where she could take it and then take your seed, because you have no control after that. All she has to do is prove that you're the father. You're on the hook for 20, 25 years of child support. By the way, if you're an athlete or somebody successful making a lot of money, those payments are massive. It is a lottery ticket for women. All they have to do is get knocked up by a successful guy. And even if he doesn't want to have a baby and uses a condom, but she takes that condom, you're still on the hook. My advice is use an app called Natural Cycles. Natural Cycles is relatively newer. It's been tested to be as effective as IUDs and hormonal birth control if you use it properly. You need to get an Oura ring. For women, it's going to track their body temperature, which starts to track their cycle. So after several months of tracking the data, they also need to pee on a stick thing. It'll be very, very accurate, and it'll tell you exactly when she's fertile, when she's not fertile, and then you can behave in accordance. If you want to have a kid, you know when to have it. If you don't want to have a kid, you know when not to do what you're not supposed to do. Make sense? Good. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.